What else should I know about software? Anything else I should be thinking about how to leverage it from a reporting or from an outreach standpoint?
I think high level, I'll turn it over to you, Rob. I think but at the end of the day, we've talked a lot about prospecting, and we've talked a lot about some self-fulfilled services, if you will, by just using the tool and running reports for people. But I think we've missed the rest of the life cycle. So I think, we need to talk really high level about what those other areas are that we find agencies using the tool for.
And this is where I get to go into my kind of zone, because I'm a PPC guy at heart. Joe is an agency owner and an agency builder. I'm a PPC guy at heart. So I'm almost slightly offended that these marketers are taking my tool and making it a marketing thing. It's a PPC thing, don't you know? It's a problem. You're not doing it right. So one of the things that I'm always interested in PPC manager, and now I will generalize and apologize for the generalization at the same time. Having hired lots of PPC managers and being one myself, we tend to be fairly data-driven individuals. We tend to be process-driven because PPC has lots of processes, lots of technical data steps, has lots of analysis requirements in it. Often one of the parts of our job that we find the most difficult is creative around that, because it's a human thing, it's a copywriting thing, it's a liaison with your client thing, and agreeing on messaging to market is going to work. But yeah, if we step into the data at the moment, and I last year spent about a month writing a 75-page statistical breakdown of quarter score to back this comment up, Google heavily reward click-through rate right now. It's one of their primary drivers of quarter score and their measurements. And yeah, as an ad manager, it's often where we're weak. We often write ads sat in our own bubble, looking at our own dashboard, split testing our ad A versus our ad B. And in reality, that's not where the fight's happening. The fight's happening in the search results page with people that you can't see running ads that you haven't read before. And so what we try to do is bring that ad copy on a keyword level. We say, okay, the most visible ads in your market for this keyword are these ads. This is the messaging. We allow you to filter them and things for them. Show me all the ads that have got dollar sign. Show me ads that have got a guarantee or 24/7 or free or discount or sale. Anything you want. But look for those key messages so that when you're onboarding a client, and onboarding is such a good time to do, rather than having that awkward conversation of what's your offer, what do you want to put to market, shall we do a free quote ad, which is the kind of default go-to when you run out of all other imagination. Let's write ads that are market appropriate against the competition you are most likely to be seen against. And all we do is run a PPC Ad Lab job for a few days beforehand. So we have all that data, we know what the message in the market is. Then as an ads manager, we can write better ads out of the gate on day one, get better click-through rates, better quality scores, and better ad account performance. So we do that on day one. And what we like to do, once we've got that in play and we understand who we're competing against, is leave what I would call like a tick over monitoring job. Just check Google Ads, morning, afternoon, evening, and overnight, so 4 times a day, desktop and mobile, for the primary keywords you are interested in for your client, the things that move the needle on their campaign. And we have things in there called notifications that will allow you to be notified when anything changes of significance. So new ads come into the market, new advertisers come into the market. We're working at the moment, so when the page layout changes, so if LSAs start appearing on a search term that they weren't appearing previously. So you don't get blindsided, you know what's happening in the course of a month, because we've all had those campaigns where you do your February report, it looks great, numbers are good. You're getting into March, and the March report's coming out, you go, oh crap, something stopped working. And you know that conversation you have sometimes, but nothing has materially changed in the campaign. Why is it now not working? If you've not changed something, then something's changed outside of your visibility and outside of your control. That's either Google has changed the page layout, which you can catch, or an advertiser's now giving a message, or more frequently, or a different type of message to compete against yours more effectively. And we send those notifications directly to our users. So if on the 15th of the month a new ad comes out that makes yours look obsolete now, you could deal with it on the 15th of the month, react to it, and stop that problem before it even occurs.
Yeah.
And that's, that's a nice way of avoiding those difficult conversations sometimes.
Very cool. That's awesome.
I've done the same actually. Just as we've all talked, we just mentioned on that. We talked about lead gen a lot here.
Yep.
We do the same for ecom. So we get all the shopping ads, all the price points, all the reviews. So shopping prices change.
Oh, that's a
When
good
the
idea.
thing you're
Yep.
up against the most.
Right.
If suddenly one of your competitors drops its price or starts showing a different product against yours, we can let you know and you can take an action accordingly, because again, before it becomes a problem.
Interesting. Very cool. Now, so you got lead gen and you've got management here. Who do you think's got the better use case here? At the end of the day, who do you think this is better for, lead gen or operations? If you had to pick one.
What's the measuring stick? Right?
I'm most excited about it from the lead gen perspective, and I think you are as well, Joe.
I think it depends on like the result that we're using to measure it, right? And that's why I asked what measuring stick, right? Because we have agencies that are getting crazy results just in terms of fulfillment, using it for competitive intelligence, and like just taking one strategy, like, you know, building a better ad, right? By understanding what's running in the marketplace.
Sure.
And just that can have such a crazy impact. But if we take like audience excitement, right? Like our customers' excitement, it's got to be lead gen.
Lead gen. Got it. That's kind of.
And I would. I'm moderately annoyed to agree with Joe on this one, but I do agree with it. And here's the thing: as PPC managers, we tend to be, we tend to be process-driven people. So we are finding ways to educate PPC managers how to bring it into their management process easily and seamlessly, so it delivers value, not work. And PPC managers are often, not always, more conservative and more slow to change that process. So our process to deliver value there, quite truthfully, is longer because it takes more time to get that change embedded into a business. Whereas agency owners, looking around this call, I'm going to make a generalization. You tend to be more entrepreneurial, more open, more fast acting, going, that's great for prospecting. I get that, go. And so I think that's the difference. We're working currently on a Chrome extension to embed Ad Lab data directly to a Google Ads user interface, which I suspect our PPC managers will love. Just now you don't have to leave the interface.
That makes a lot of sense. Very cool.
But it's not there yet. That's a future thing.
Okay.